Hey guys, JD here. I hope you're doing well today. I got a new Remette in that we're going to check out. I think you guys are going to like it too. Let's get it. All right, guys, we have a new variant of the Swordfish, and I think this is the perfect version for this model. Aluminum build, and it makes a huge difference in the weight. The construction is very much like the premium variant out there, even with the milling and the fully enclosed scale design here. Titanium pocket clip still remains. Different versions of the inlay. It is a blade that still can be flipped to be reversed for lefties out there. So I do appreciate that intentional design. And they did not skimp. There are a couple different versions. I went with the stone washed S35 VN variant, and the heat treat on here seems to be done pretty well. Came with a good factory edge. I haven't resharpened it yet. Came with a nice sharpening choil. It's actually a functional knife that I do appreciate. Got a thin-esque blade grind on here. It's been great for opening packages, breaking down some boxes. I really appreciate that. Once you get used to the mechanic of how this works, it's actually quite a fun knife. It's not too obnoxiously loud. At least the wife and kids haven't complained as I have fidgeted with this one. The long fuller here is a nice design choice. Minimal branding here with the S35 and very small print Remette. I do appreciate that as well. Very, very smooth. Yeah, very quiet, just like the premium version. No rattle or shaking. They do include a sheath with this. I think this anodized aluminum is going to hold up extremely well. Pocket clip works well with it going in and out of the pocket. And I don't think I have it. I don't know where I set it down. I do carry it in kind of my art company organizer as my companion carry usually. So I do like that option with this. The pocket clip has plenty of clearance, good retention. And the ability to go in and out of the pocket nicely. It doesn't really fight. You usually worry about that a little bit with some of these shorter ones, but I think because they milled some of the material out of the middle there, that does give it enough of a give for it to go in and out of the pocket nicely. Nice spot for the lanyard back here on the back if you want it. If not, it doesn't affect the tombstone-esque styling to it. Lots of jumps on here. It just locks in the hand, very secure. I like that a lot. The button and the pocket clip don't really play a factor. Yeah, I don't think it would for lefties either if you needed to flip this over as I poke the table. If you needed to flip this over to be used as a lefty, I think a lefty is going to want to flip this upside down so the switch is like this. Trying to make sure I don't hit the table again, and that pocket clip can go onto the left hand. So I do appreciate that. That's a really, really cool feature on this particular one. The weight and balancing on here are really quite good. And I think that's probably about where I'm right behind the index finger for the perfect balance on there as I pull the light with the magnet there. So I think that's why it feels so balanced in hand. Just a really, really nice feeling on this particular one. Like I said, it's hard to do under the camera. You got to really kind of give it a little bit of power to get it to slide out. You can kick it either way with a little bit of practice. I think it's fun and it's cool, but to me, I'm kind of cool with just letting it drop. I'm not really trying to fling it. But having said that, I have practiced flinging it just to see if it feels like it's in there pretty secure, and it really, really is. The other thing too, I did check. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but I can see the tip of the blade a little bit right here. And I have checked to see if I touch that, and I don't. So they did a great job kind of maximizing the amount of blade that they can get in here. And I think that really helps with good blade to handle ratios as well. All right, let's do some quick size comparison. All right, carrying the Bodacious with the Remette today. Ironically, I wanted to go ahead and carry it one more day today before I did the full review. And then I have the Knife Right SOG Diverge XR that I got in. that I wanted to do for the smaller size comparison. You can see this is a nice full-size knife, a little bit smaller than the Bodacious, and certainly I would say larger than the Diverge. Let's do a couple more before we get the scale. All right, two affordable models that I really like, the Duran and the Dremel. Very, very nice knives. All of these are aluminum construction. I did not even mean to make it work that way. If you watch my videos regularly, you guys know I've been using these two a lot for my budget references. But I really like this model a lot. It's really well done. I can't wait to see what the weight is. I think it's going to come in pretty light. All right, I got the scale out and cutting it on. Full disclosure, at the time of recording this, I don't remember the weight of the premium one, but I will in edit look it up and throw it up on the screen. I don't know, maybe 3.8. Doesn't feel too bad. 3.2, way better than I was thinking. Like I said, didn't feel bad, but 3.2, that is pretty lightweight considering that you have like a completely enclosed construction on this particular model. That is really, really positive for me. All right, final thoughts and impressions. This one's a little bit different than, you know, your traditional folder. It's more of like a closed up style knife. I know people use Gravity knife as the descriptor for this one, but it's just kind of self-enclosed. You could call it a manual OTF if you wanted. It does require gravity to operate it or inertia to operate it. So, you know, I get it. To me, it doesn't feel as dangerous as what an OTF is made to seem to be, thanks to Hollywood and fantasy TV. I grade on a scale of 1 to 10 though. I do have links to Remette. When you use those links, it does help the channel. You can check down there. I can't remember in this moment in time if I have a discount code for them. I might, but I could be getting them confused with someone else. But check down below, and like I said, if you choose to pick one up, the link will help the channel if you want to get one. I picked mine up from Blade HQ using, and I have a link for them down below. Using that link will help the channel. Let's see here. Let me think about this one. And on the scale of 1 to 10, I take into account the fit, the finish, the ergos, and performance, both with the action. That's what you want to call that. And cutting performance. Like I said, it is a shorter blade, more gent style, but it is thin enough and done well enough to where it actually performed well cutting. I take into account money for value, which I think is really good with this, and the aesthetics, which is subjective. And there are a lot of variants here too, so if you don't like the particular variant I have, that is something to take into consideration. I think on this one I'm gonna go 8.9. I think it is a bit of a novelty, but it does function and perform well. It is a little bit gimmicky with how you have to deploy it, so I do think that kind of keeps it from being too high. Even though I did score this very high, I like it a lot, which is why I scored it like that. If you enjoy the video, a like would be appreciated and helps the algorithm, as does your comment. If you're not subscribed, your subscription goes a long ways in helping the channel, and a special shout out and thanks to my channel members out there that are subscribed.